Moving forward, we got our span taken care of. We know this is as high as the bridge can go. We know this is as wide as the bridge can be. We know this is as far as the bridge can go off of here. So now we're going to start beginning to use this as a reference to make our truss pieces. So I'm going to go plus, and I'm going to hit Create Assembly. Then I'm going to come down at the bottom, rename this, and call it Bridge. And I'm going to insert my first part. I have a bunch of them here already. You'll just have one. So I'm just going to go the span. And instead of clicking and moving and all that kind of stuff, I just want to stay in this window and hit the green check mark. And then I'm going to right click on it and fix it. And now this part can't move, and the origin stayed in the same spot. So we began our assembly of bridge. Now we're going to start our truss sketches. So up at the top here, far right-hand side, it says Create Part Studio in Context. So we're going to use this as our Part Studio. Select origin, make connector. So I'm going to select that center origin again. Hit the green check. And now we have a part studio created, but we can see this bridge span right now. So it's kind of nice that we can use it for a reference. So we're going to start a new sketch, or actually we're going to make a plane. So we're going to come over and click Make a Plane. I'm going to make an offset plane. I can be 3 1/4 for my bridge, and I at least have to be 1.5 inches wide. So I'm going to try to be 2 inches wide for my trusses. So I'm going to bring this bridge here, and I'm going to bring it out 2 inches. Or sorry, 1 inch. Half of 2 inches is 1 inch. So now I have this plane sitting out at 1 inch. And then I'll put another plane over here, or I'll put the truss over there and have it set up. So I created my plane. I got plane 1, and I can come over here and I can get rid of top, front, and right so I can really see what's happening. I'm going to draw a sketch on this plane, right click, view normal to sketch plane, like we've been doing over and over and over again. And then I'm going to come here, and I'm going to start with a line. And this is how I draw my bridge. So I at least have to be to the midpoint, but I can be up to this outside edge. That's up to you where you want to be on this. So I'm going to click here and bring it all the way across to here. Green check. And this is my first line of my bridge. I'm going to dimension that from this outside edge in. So we're following our specifications. Sorry, I got out of the sketch for a second. So I'm going to go from this edge to here. And it at least has to be 1, or it can be no more than 1, but it can be no less than 0. So I'm going to go 1 point, I'm going to go 0.9. So I'm making sure to hang it on. Oh, went the wrong way. Sometimes they fight a little bit, so we just got to delete. No big deal. There, we went to 1 there, and that one worked. Escape key, bringing this one in. And I'm going to go to 1 over here as well. So I'm going to hang the same amount on each side. The other thing I want to do when I'm making this truss is I want to make sure that these lines are construction lines. I'm going to click on the line and change it to a construction line, just like I did before on that gap up there. Now I'm going to draw some more lines going up and above this truss and down and below. So I'm still on construction line, got my line done. Coming up at an angle. Haven't decided the right angle yet. Coming straight across horizontal and down at angle. And really, we're going to be drawing half of this truss and we're going to mirror it over to the other side. So I'm going to draw right here my midpoint line. And I don't want to lock it, I want to lock it vertical. And I can do my trimming. So since they're symmetric, I want to do only half of it. Now I can set my angle and I can set my height that I want this truss to be at. Right now it's at 39. I'm going to go 40 degrees. And for my overall height here, I'm going to go 2.5. I think that'll get me a nice even area there. The other thing I could do, I could say, I want this to be equal to this, and then this would go up and make that setup. All right, now we're drawing some of our internal trusses, truss shapes coming in. Remember, this is going to put it in tension, and if I go this way, what we learned in the past is that's going to put it in compression. I like tension right now, so I'm going to just bring a tension, bring a tension. This one goes into compression automatically, so I'm going to find the midpoint and tie that in. And I can choose where I want to go with that. I think I'm going to tie it in vertical to this one. And I see I missed a little bit, so I'm going to just set that coincident to the midpoint. And that's locked into place now. Now these here can move a little bit. Okay. And I'm going to take that midpoint off there. So this can move this way. I'm going to make it coincident to that line. And you're noticing I'm taking a little bit of extra time right now to get this stuff set up right. So that can move, this can move yet. Just thinking about what I got going on here, I probably want these two pieces to be equal. So I'm going to show you how to do that. I'm going to take this line and I'm going to split it. So instead of trim, I'm going to go to split again. And I'm going to just come in here and make a dot at the midpoint. Set a split at the midpoint right there. If I didn't happen to hit the midpoint perfectly, I could split it over here. And then I'm going to come and use an equal constraint, this side to this side, and it puts it on the midpoint. Now I can make this come on over. So I'm going to do coincident here to here. And now that it broke these two up in equal portions. Got a little issue right here coming. I think I want to strengthen this joint here a little bit. So I'm going to just draw another line there. I got that broken now. And then I'm going to make this point connect to here. So I'm going to use coincident constraint over there. And now I have half of my truss drawn. I'm putting stuff in compression here because they're coming down this way. If they would have came down the other way, they'd be in tension. Sorry, I'm putting stuff in tension. If they would have been down the other way, they would have been in compression. Hit the green check mark for sketch 1. And I have beginning of half of my superstructure on my truss.